good to see everybody. Well, first I'm glad that you selected this seminar, since you had a rather long list to choose from. Just in case you may or may not be in the right room, this is Art 197A. I'm Baird Souls. This is the freshman seminar, Art 97A, Aesthetics of Contemporary Fashion Publishing, or as people are starting to call it, Baird's Got Issues. You know, Baird College is an elite college, and we really want to hit them hard and set the tone. They're freshmen. We want to make sure they know what they're getting into. And then August became September, and I picked up the September issue of Vogue, and I'm thinking, this is what I like. I don't like existentialism at all. So I said, well, they did say I could do anything that I want to do. So I bought a second fashion magazine and a third and a fourth, and I ended up with 27. That's 50 pounds of first world wonderfulness. So the course is called Aesthetics of Contemporary Fashion Publishing. And I thought, you know, the course really should have a Bible verse. You know, if you want to be an elite college, then you need to connect with something that's old, right? And the Bible is old. I mean, no one would disagree with that. I mean, the most compelling atheist in the world would say, that's old. Okay, so there's value in old. Harvard is old. So I had a tremendous amount of options for that verse for our seminar. And I think I chose a great one. Let's see. All right, so I'll read it. All right, there was a rich man who was dressed in purple and fine linen and lived in luxury every day.
Is that supposed to be a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing. Before I forget, I do want you to sign in. Just sign the roster.
How many credits is this?
It's a 1-credit seminar. The founding principles. One of the founding principles of Baird College is that it will be and will always be the most expensive college in America. And it's very simple, right? We will always be at least $10,000 more than the second most expensive. The reason for this is that you get a tremendous amount of free publicity for being the most expensive college. So right now, number 2 is Sarah Lawrence College. Whatever, it's number 2. Number 1 is Baird College. So Sarah Lawrence, 65,000 something, and Baird College, 80,000. So I congratulate you for making a good choice. And actually, the price of Baird College relates to the fashion industry, because there's price and then there's perceived value, right? If you price yourself too low, and there are people in this room who understand this like at the bone level. If you price yourself too low, all you're doing is hurting yourself. So don't do that. We're $80K a year. The other interesting founding principle of Baird College is that it's a 21-plus college. It doesn't make sense to be in college and not being able to drink. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So you have to be 21 to apply. some of you are like hypercritical, and you're like, you saw the list in the syllabus, Architectural Digest, you said, that's not a fashion magazine. But this is a fashion issue of Architectural Digest, so it works. Okay? And who is this? Who is this right here? Who is that? Tommy Hilfiger, okay? What was the stupidest business move he ever made? Anybody? What's that? Leaving Elmira? Now that was a good move.
Selling to rappers. Promoting rappers.
Those glasses?
She's on to something. Selling to rappers. Okay? So it's related to that. No. So rappers love Tommy Hilfiger, right? His error he made was he dissed the rapper community. Incredibly bad move. All right, so this guy, who is it? Idris Elba, The Wire. Anybody seen The Wire?
Yes, of course.
Yes?
The best
So I'm
TV show
supposed
ever.
The best TV show ever, right? So I'm supposed to see The Wire because if it's the best TV show, but I prefer like Paddington. You know, don't tell anybody.
Isn't there a crossover? Paddington in Baltimore?
So L thinks it's like the Vogue, but it's just L.
That's because it's L in America.
Well, this is L UK.
L. Oh, it's LUK.
What's that?
Fact checking. Fact
So,
checking.
so I did want to mention something. We actually have people in this. There are people in the room that are actually qualified to run this seminar. And I told the registrar, make sure that doesn't happen.
Administrative upgrade needed at Baird College.
I mean, tell me about the origin of the name Vanity Fair. Peter, got anything? Jan? Anybody? Yes?
Oh yeah.
Really?
So the origin of the name of this magazine, Vanity Fair. It's the oldest, it has the oldest roots of all these magazines in terms of the name. No. Oh, it's way back, but it's a published thing. So, thank you, Mark. So, who wrote Pilgrim's Progress? That was John Bunyan. Who said that? No, not
Johnny Bunyan. Played third base.
who said John Bunyan? Rock and roll. Elliot said John Bunyan. So John Bunyan, back in the 1600s Shakespeare era, right? He's in prison and he writes this cool book, Pilgrim's Progress. And then one of the little towns that the pilgrim goes through is called Vanity Fair. So really old source on that name. And then there was a great book in the 19th century, Vanity Fair. Some of you don't know that the New York Times, Sunday New York Times, occasionally has a really great magazine in it. Doesn't cost any more. It's called the T Style magazine. It's fabulous.
Nice font.
So when they cover September, the September stuff, it's three different weeks. It's pretty fabulous. Harper's UK, biggest issue ever, and only 418 pages.
It's a declining empire, UK.
I mean, 418, that's their biggest issue ever? It's like, don't even say that. All right, so I want you to tell me which is better, the American Esquire or the UK? American or a UK?
Ooh, what's that expression on his face?
Yes, what is that?
That's a declining empire expression.
Yeah. So who is that?
It all came to pieces in my hand.
It all fell apart right now.
Who is that?
I don't know. Kind of looks
No?
like Joaquin Phoenix, but it's not.
Well, isn't it, what's that? What's that? What's that?
It's that guy.
Yeah, because it says it on top.
Oh,
But it's Robert Pattinson,
Oh.
of course.
it's 10 o'clock at night and you need more magazines.
And it's October.
And I said, well,
They're not going to be on the stands anymore in October.
so it's late,
Late October.
really late. So I don't have the UK Vogue, I don't have the Paris Vogue, I don't have the Italian Vogue. So I go to this place and I said, do you have any international Vogues left? And he said, no. So I didn't believe him, and I kept looking and I found the Brazil Vogue, which is fabulous. Would you like to hear some Portuguese? All right. Scottish people.
Layers bear.
Seu lado digital encontrou o banco mais pessoal.
My entire body was modified by digital enhancements.
That's good. That's good. It took like 2 or 3 hours to make him look like a DuPont. Tremendous. It's all good.
What is this movie? I love it.
So one of my favorite professor line, look it up. All right, so I was super excited to find this magazine because I had not heard of it before. I was in New York, Wonderland, it's a British magazine. And this is where I learned, and I should have already known this, that Tina Fey had something to do with the Mean Girls film. Who knew that?
Yeah.
Everybody knew that. Peter knew that.
didn't know
Christine knew that. Everybody knew that Tina Fey was the genius behind Mean Girls. I do like the subtitle of, this is tremendous. The subtitle on this one is the best of the entire stack. Not for girls.
So wait,
this
there's a
is-
nylon
this
and
is-
a nylon guys?
Yes,
But they don't call the nylon girls.
Now I'm
No.
completely confused.
because
Like the guys have to have some sub little header to qualify.
Right,
'Cause
right.
The gals on nylon.
right.
Why nylon
That's
for
because
guys?
of reality,
It's not a.
the power of refusal. Right? It reminds me, Rem Koolhaas was the architect that designed the Prada flagship store in Soho. And then he's doing the media interviews after the flagship opened. What did he say? He said, luxury is not shopping. It's like, and like Ms. Prada is like, here's your assignment. I know you've been waiting for that and the opportunity to order more drinks. Well, the date is already on here, right? So it already says, Baird's got issues 31 January 2005, and it's already got the hashtags there for you in case you want to. So you know what a selfie is, right? Well, a palmy, this is a palmy. A palmy is when you hold the Yoi card and shoot it and get it out there. So put hashtag Yoi card whenever you post a palmy.
And do you post a? How do you post a poem?
This is how you post a palmy. For crying out loud.
Technique.
You take the stupid picture and you post it.
Oh, I thought it was more physical. You just wing it.
Okay, so back to the assignment. So your assignment, should you choose to accept it, is to put something on the front of this card. Something. And then hopefully you'll come up here and you'll do your Toastmasters thing and you'll tell us. Basically, you're going to look at these magazines and you're going to say, wow, that's cool. I had no idea that Tina Fey wrote that book about Mean Girls. And then, so you're looking for resonance. So that's what you're doing. You're looking for resonance, right? If there isn't resonance, then forget it. We only care about resonance at Baird College. You don't touch my magazines. I mean, yes, that's all you can do is touch them. The Yoi card was born in Holyoke, as was volleyball and basketball.
And me. I was.
born in Hollywood.
No,
Oh, they stole it.
no, they stole it. They stole it. There you go. So that's Stacy Stiles, and you know, she was the one with the right name for the evening, right? Stacy Stiles. So she said these are the basic elements: the geek glasses, the something for the top, the bottom, and the shoes.
You know, the two great loves that I'm qualified to speak about, fashion and football. So we have Giselle Bundchen, Tom Brady, New England Patriots, Pats win. So
Nice, thank you.
So I said next time we should make blanket forts dress as supermodels and Baird could dress as Julia Roberts.
Nice.
Blanket forts have been on my mind lately, and this just seemed like a good mix of the two thoughts.
What are the two thoughts?
Fashion and blanket forts.
Blanket.
Like forts.
Forts.
Blanket forts.
Blanket forts.
Blanket fort. I'm thinking fjords. That's cool. That's good. That's good. Yeah. That's great. We haven't sent it out to the network yet.
Oh, I'll put my name on it.
Yes, please. On the front. There's no back.
That's right, there's no back.
The Socratic method is best practiced in sweatpants and a hoodie.
Nice. I like it.
Nice. All right, go ahead. Tell the world.
So I've learned from the best men's store in America. I don't know if you know it, but it's called Sid Mashburn's. Has anybody been to Sid Mashburn's? It's the best men's store in America.
Where's that?
No idea. I learned it in the magazine.
Oh.
And and because my major is red, I am majoring in red, the color red. Yes, yes. And it had a red font and nice red text, so that caught my eye. So they give you music to buy clothes by. Sid Mashburn's. And they recommend Willie Nelson, Time for the Preacher, Sam Cooke, Jesus I'll Never Forget, The Specials, A Message to You, Rudy, and Marvin Gaye, Come Get to This. So,
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Jan. Very nice. All right, who made this?
So the professor said to find resonance, and it's really cold out, and I'm majoring in red too. And I like this Red Riding Hood that was in Harper's Bazaar. I found resonance.
Did you put your name on there?
Yes.
Oh, she knows the rules.
The elevator stalls after a fashion show, and you're stranded with your competitor. Don't panic. Behave cordially. Make idle chit-chat. Don't say anything negative. And this is from Elevator Etiquette from Harper's Bazaar with Linda Evangelista on the cover.
Very nice. Yes.
And so one should know, obviously, how long is 15 minutes?
For Baird, it's about 45.
Okay. Well, then there's 15 minutes is 45 minutes of fame. And then we go on to, or does fashion know no age? Which, of course, in the interview had Charlotte Rampling showing no age. All fantastic. So you'll just have to check out the interview.
Jesus Christ.
All right. At some point, there's a boy in a blanket fjord in his room with a flashlight and a stack of 50 pounds of magazines. And all he can think about are collar stays and sock belts and jock straps and the accoutrement that a boy growing into a man will eventually need. But yet in the 50 pounds of pulp that he holds, all he can find is nylon. Feasting on fashion, lips, legs, tits, and a few dicks, my spleen fills with love.
Nice. Nice. Black is the new purple. I mean, purple's the original kick-ass color. It is.
It's the color of royalty.
And then Coco Chanel came along, and then black became the kick-ass color. And it's all good. Hopefully we'll see most of you at the next lecture. And now it's what we call the after party, which is more Rolling Stones, more volume, more Linda the Barkeep. And thank the Yankee Peddler, Kathleen, and Marita. You know, they took a risk, or a big risk. And it's all rock and roll, and thank you, and I'll turn the music up.